Today I'm going to be showing you Chatgpt 4 plus Python and its ability to take really big PDFs and not just one, but multiple, many PDFs, answer questions about all of them, basically doing analysis between them, and then also providing a really great summary if that's what you want. Let's go ahead and jump in. The first thing we need to do before you can begin this program, this demo, you're going to have to come to platform.openai.com, create an account, and generate an API key. If you don't already have an API key, come here to create new key. That's no problem. Copy your key and save that key off because we'll be using that in your program. The package we're going to be using today is called LangChain. It's a Python package. That's essentially the wrapper around Chatgpt 4. And you can see here you install it with pip install LangChain. We'll do that now. pip3 install LangChain. Now it's going to be really quick for me because I've already done it. It'll take some time to download everything. Now let's move into the code. First 3 lines here are all imports from LangChain library. We have the unstructured PDF loader. That's going to load our PDFs. We've got the vector store index creator. What that's doing, it's going to store, it's going to vectorize in a vector database all these giant PDFs so that we can pump those to Chatgpt. The next import is the Chat OpenAI module. What that is going to do is allow us to actually talk to Chatgpt 4. That'll give us that ability. All right, so the first line here, we've got this PDF question and answer function that I've written. It's going to receive a list and then a query, the actual question to ask Chatgpt. Jump down here, we're going to have the loader list. It's just going to be a list of loaders. And we're going to actually print. What we're going to do is even print as a debug statement loading which PDF are we loading. And we're going to just add that object, the unstructured PDF loader. We're going to add it to the list of loaders. We're just going to loop through here in this for loop to put them all into the loader. Next, we jump to the vector store index creator. That's super handy. What's nice about that is it needs actually a list of loaders. And what we're doing here is just loading a list of PDFs. And we've loaded a list. We're going to be loading a list of unstructured PDF loaders right there. Finally, we're going to call, do index.query, where we're providing the question, which is the query that comes inside of this function. And then the LLM, the large language model, which one are we using? We're using Chatgpt 4. I forgot to say the max tokens here is if you don't do that, if you don't set the max tokens, the answer coming back from Chatgpt 4 actually will be truncated, so you have to set that pretty large, depending on how big the answer is going to be. Then we just print a space, and then we're going to print the answer. Okay, so that's it. You can see 20 lines of code, and you've got your function, you've got your imports and your function. Now below, we just have code to actually call our function. So let's do an example here. The PDFs that we're going to load are, get ready, pretty exciting, the Apple 10K report and the Microsoft 10K report. Pop over here, I can show you how big these are. Here's the Microsoft 10K report. You can see it's 111 pages, and the Apple 10K report is 80 pages. Pretty giant reports. I'm assuming the folks that do this in industry, they've already got software to pick out keywords and probably look through this, but let's actually pump this in Chatgpt 4 and then ask some pretty sophisticated questions besides just the normal questions like what is X, what is Y, directly things it could pull out. Let's ask it some logic, some questions that it would have to reason, it would have to think. Here are the questions. Based on their 10K reports, which company seems more optimistic about upcoming industry trends and their role in them? How does each company describe its competitive position in the tech industry? And then, are there shared industry risk? And do the companies differ in how they address those mitigations or risk? You can ask reason questions. That's what's so amazing about this. You provide all the context in these giant PDFs, it reads them, and then it can take these questions and do some reasoning on the data that you just gave it. Okay, it's time to now, let's jump down here. Where'd my mouse go? There you are. Okay, let's jump down here and actually run the code. Oh, I forgot to say, before you run the code, you're going to have to do the export command. What that does is you're going to have to export OpenAI API key, and then give it that giant key. I've already done this. I can't show you my key. Okay, now we're actually ready to go ahead and run this example. So let's call it Python 3, and we call it demo, and let her go. Okay, we print the debug here, which is which PDF is it loading. It loads the Apple and Microsoft. We're going to pause here because it's going to take a few seconds. Here are the answers. I did pause and fast forward there. It did take a few seconds. I think it took roughly about 30 seconds to get to this answer, but you can see it certainly did answer it. For example, number 3, you can see we asked, basically, are there shared industry risk? And it talked about them. Apple's got risk, Microsoft has risk. They both see them as different things, and it's able to compare and contrast them. Feel free to go ahead and pause this and read this if you'd like. It's pretty interesting answers. I hope you've been able to see the power here that I've showed you. I've just showed you one quick example, but you could do this with many, many PDFs across many, many industries and ask lots of different questions. Have fun.